So yeah, this was the Disney remake of Slim Shady, and I feel like that's the best place to leave it off at. Hey, what's good, y'all? It's your boy, who is Raphael Leraux, your resident rapping VTuber here, and today I'm gonna be checking out this new joint that Eminem just dropped. It's been making a lot of waves online since he dropped it. Basically, just Eminem doing what Eminem does, causing controversy with his lyrics and whatnot. But yeah, I'm really interested to see what we got cooking on this new track because I'll be honest, I have not been the biggest fan of Eminem in the past decade or so. I grew up loving his music, you know what I'm saying? I was in around like fifth, sixth grade when he was first blowing up. So he was a big part of that really young, impressionable age for me. But as time went on and he started leaning more into the terrible dad jokes in his bars, more he started leaning into the terrible accents and just all of the goofy stuff that he essentially became synonymous with now. I fell off and I didn't really enjoy too much. His last few albums have been varying degrees of okay for me. Like the technical skill is there. He is still one of the best to ever do it, but it just hasn't really been very enjoyable to listen to for me for a while. So I'm going into this with a little bit of trepidation. I'm a little bit kind of nervous to see what he's coming up with, whether or not he's coming hard or whether he's coming in with some decent stuff. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and check out this new track by Eminem.
Hey, it's Paul. I was listening to the album. Good fucking luck. You're on your own.
Okay, so this has a real big throwback vibe.
Check this out.
This definitely feels like he's reaching back into his past. Okay, I like the I like the idea of youthful Eminem like stepping back, and I love the idea that the instrumental is really harkening back to those early days. Yeah, young, angry, drug addicted Eminem would absolutely not fuck with the state of music in the world today. Hey, I'm always glad to see West Side Boogie make a cameo in anything. I'm still mad that he ain't been dropping music. Like, I feel he could be dropping music because bro is a phenomenal artist. If you haven't listened to West Side Boogie, check him out, man. He's so dope. That felt like an accurate reaction to seeing middle-aged Elm. Okay, so it feels like this is really just a song with him looking back at his old self, which is a really interesting concept, especially because, like I said, like he went from being very aggressive and angry and of course, I mean, addicted to him now sober and making a lot of really bad dad jokes on his songs. Like it's a huge step back. Like that duality of him is hard to miss. But I'm kind of digging the flow though. Like the flow definitely does remind me of his much older stuff. I like that because it's a very little thing, but the video is shot in the same way that his old videos were shot. And even the way that he popped up out of the bed reminded me of. I can't place the name of the video because it's been decades. I don't, or at least a decade. I don't remember when exactly it came out, but yeah, it is definitely pulling off, and I'm hoping he's not. Yeah, he's putting the costume on again. I hated the costume back then. Shit looks so goofy. Yeah, I love that this is shot just like the old videos though. But seeing him middle aged doing the same shit is kind of funny. I heard the ad lib. I'm praying he don't dip into the fucking voices. Please don't do it. I hate that ad lib. That goddamn Pee Wee Herman laugh, man. I love that even his stance is different from the way that he used to, even just pose and posture to now. I really just, the idea of Eminem going into the whole you can't say anything, they're trying to cancel me, like Eminem of all people, the motherfucker who literally was uncancelable for his entire career. Like, this is the dude that rapped about fucking Columbine and like all kinds of crazy shit. I don't know, it just kind of rang a little bit hollow to hear that particular line from M of all people. Especially because his whole career has been controversial lyrics. Yeah, see, that whole thing, like, I have doubts the whole world's about to, like, turn into Girl Scouts. Like, oh, everybody's soft now. But, nigga, your whole career has been talking shit and getting people riled up over your lyrics. So hearing Eminem of all people talking about how everybody's soft now, when in the early 2000s he was getting people upset and had people protesting against him and all kinds of stuff, like, yeah, this is the last person that should be saying that, because that's literally what he built his career off of. It just rings very hollow and, like, I don't know, it just doesn't really hit for me. I do fuck with the flow though. See, like, I do like the inclusion of all of these little references. Like, this genuinely feels like it's just a love letter to his fans who have been here from the beginning of his career. Just the ad-libs, the little chicka chicka shit that he's doing in the background, reminiscent of Slim Shady. You know, of course, him in the Rat Boy costume, doing the climbing up the side of the building just like he did in the video. There's a lot of little Easter eggs that I can see from old videos and references and stuff like that I think is really, really dope. And I love the fact that this is a love letter to his die-hard fans. And I feel like if you are an Eminem stan, you are going to love every little bit of this. I do love the idea of, like, he's older, he ain't doing shit like he did when he was in his prime. The knee brace is a great touch. I will say it is refreshing to see blonde angry Eminem again in the unnecessarily baggy clothes. Like, that is a breath of fresh air. I also will say I'm not really a fan of the chorus, the abracadabra. Like, it feels like something that happens very often in Eminem songs where you're just kind of waiting for the chorus to end so he can get back to the bars. Like, it feels like a very nothing of a chorus. Like, it's just a placeholder until he can get back to rapping. First, absolutely. The old Eminem would 100% call all of this shit gay in the most flippant, derogatory way possible. Like, just for the shiggles. But the fact that he had to clarify it in this kind of took the bite away from it. Because I feel like if he had just he'd probably say this shit was gay and left it at that, it would have hit because you understand that he's referencing the way he used to be. But the, like, happy ad-lib, I feel like it didn't, like, he didn't have the conviction to say what he used to say, like what he would have said in his youth, and it just makes that entire line fall flat. It kind of reminds me of J. Cole when he was like,
same thing that my nigga Elvis did with rock and roll. Justin Timberlake, Eminem, and Macklemore. Look around, my nigga, white people have snatched the sound.
And then the very next line, he's like,
I'm just playing.
It's like, if you're going to say some controversial shit, or if you're going to say something with some bite, you gotta stand on it. Having the ad lib in the background, like, it's happy, it takes the impact away from that line, and it made it feel very toothless. Like, it just emphasizes how far he is from the old him, which I guess could be the point, but also, like, not in the right way. I do like the "What's My Name" part, though. Again, just harkening back to the old songs. See, if we have a fusion of the old and young him, that would be perfect, because his older music didn't really flex the lyrical ability quite as much. Like, he wasn't really flexing his pen game in his older stuff. It was much more just raw emotion. So if you could have the phenomenal lyricism and technical ability plus the, not even anger, but the passion of the old M, that would be perfect. But that's not really what this song is. See, if this verse had a little more aggression to it, it could do a really good, it could be like a really good example of him getting into that whole mixture of the old and new. Like, if he delivered this with a little more oomph, you know what I'm saying? Like, if he delivered this verse with a little more aggression, it could have gone so much further. Unfortunately, the combination got the dad joke part. I love all of the visual references. You see, this is what I'm talking about. Why would you need to put that line? Like, if you're trying to remind us of what you used to be, why do you keep backing out of it? Like, it's getting frustrating. Because, like, even if it's not PC and it'll piss people off, like, you already did that with the Megan Thee Stallion line. Like, there's already a grip of headlines and people pissed off about that. But, like, I'll probably get shit for that. There's no bite to the punches. Why? I feel like Pete Davidson and Eminem low-key makes sense, but also just a weird cameo to have. Alright, so that was Eminem with Houdini, and I have feelings about it. I can't say that I enjoyed it, really. It felt like much of his recent stuff for me. It was okay. It had little hints and glimmers of greatness, and it had the potential to be so much better. I love the incorporation of the old school. I love the ad-libs, except for the fucking Pee Wee Herman laugh. I loved the way that he added those ad-libs reminiscent of his older tracks. I love the way that the production really reminded you of older Eminem. His flow felt a lot more simplified, like he used to have it, which I think was really dope. Yeah, there was some really good elements in this song. Some of the lines were genuinely clever. Some of the lines were really good, but at the same time, we do also have the obligatory terrible dad joke bars. Yeah, I feel like the thing that frustrated me the most was that last verse, which is supposed to be the amalgamation of the old and new, and it was all of the worst parts of both. Like, you could have gone in with the lyrics. Like, hell, you went harder on Rap God with some of the punches. Even the ones that weren't good, like the Chris Brown line on that song. He didn't apologize or backtrack that line in Rap God. You know what I'm saying? Like, he did it twice in that one verse, and it really just took the wind out of the sails for what it was supposed to be. Like, if you're going to remind us of what you used to be, actually remind us. This, I feel like the best comparison I could have for this song is the Disney remakes. This was like the Disney live action remake of Slim Shady. Not nearly as creative as the original old school version, not nearly as heartfelt. It didn't have the passion that the original had, but it was very well polished. It was pretty to look at, but that's about the extent of it. So yeah, this was the Disney remake of Slim Shady, and I feel like that's the best place to leave it off at. Decent track. I didn't hate it. I didn't dislike it, but there was a lot that it could have done to make it better. But shout out to the Eminem fans. Y'all was eating good with this song. A lot of visual Easter eggs and audio Easter eggs for the diehard Eminem stans. So, I love that for y'all. This was a decent song. I hope y'all enjoyed listening to it with me, and I hope y'all have a wonderful evening.
Missing you feels like a song with no chorus. Song with no chorus. Missing you feel like a song with no chorus.
Love, the bed right, she square tight. We blind in the headlights. We high, hit a new heights. Breathe out, bit a new life. And we finna paint a picture like Picasso. Got my baby and I feed it like Kylo. And no one finna eat it like a Tylo. Got my shorty so divine like Tylo.